So have you ever traveled to an English speaking country?
Never, but I hope. I hope so.
Mhm. Which one would you like to visit?
Which country? Actually, I like both United States and also United Kingdom.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah.
I've been to the UK. They have slightly different vocabulary and pronunciation, but it's not unmanageable either. So,
But you can understand them. Even yeah, you can understand them easily if you speak, American accent or even if you speak American English.
you can, but the vocabulary differences can be a bit of a challenge. Like when I went, my husband made a really silly mistake when he ordered his dinner, and he was thinking he was ordering one thing and he received something else. And I said, he was getting ready to correct the waiter and say that it was wrong. And I said, and then I told him, this is what you ordered in the UK, not the US. And he said, I did, didn't I? So
Yeah.
it's manageable, but yeah, some of the vocabulary is a bit different. So for us, it was a bit of a
Yeah. Yeah.
challenge with ordering food, but not a huge problem.
Can you tell me some words that different from US and from UK? For example, maybe cookies they called biscuit or something like that.
I was just getting ready to tell you that one. So, in the US, a biscuit to us is a piece of bread that you put butter and jam on, typically at breakfast time. In the UK, a biscuit is a cookie, like that you would eat for dessert. So it has like chocolate and peanut butter or something in it. So here we call those cookies, and we expect a small round thing with maybe frosting or chocolates. And over there, we say, wait, what do we call these? Like we just, it's a different word. And then they say, oh, it's a biscuit. And we say, then what is the bread thing? Then what do you call this? And I've never gotten an answer. And I think it's because they just don't use that. They don't eat them over there. So the biscuit and cookie one is a challenge. The French fry and the crisps and the chips, that's what got my husband the wrong food in his head. Um, and then when I was in Ireland, I said, I want chips. And they said, we don't have chips. And I said, no, those chips right there. And they said, we don't have chips. And I said, the crisps right there. I want those. And they said, so you want crisps? And I said, yes, the ones right there. So there's food is a big one. For us, um, we would call the game with the racket and the ball racquetball because it's a racket
Racquetball.
in a ball. Over there, they call it squash, and to us, a squash is a vegetable. So I say, "What do you mean? Do you want to play squash?" That's not. We don't play with our pumpkins and our zucchinis. So over there, they call the game squash, and over here, we call it racquetball because it's a racket and a ball.
And also sidewalk.
Yeah,
But
there's the sidewalk, they call it pavement. What
pavement.
pavement? Yeah, the
Yeah.
pavement. Yes. Um, and then there's the crosswalk. So to us, a crosswalk is where you paint white stripes on the road as a safe area for someone to walk from one side to the other. And over there, they call them zebra stripes. A zebra is an
Yeah,
African animal. Why are we calling this zebra stripes? So, so we have the zebra stripe issue. I had to teach a lesson once. Somebody wanted to learn traffic signals and how to communicate, walking and what different signs mean. And I told them I have to teach this to you on two different days. You need to learn it once in American English and once in British English because the vocabulary is so different. Or over there, they call it the underground, which is the train that goes underground.
Yeah.
Here we call it a subway.
Oh,
Um,
oh my gosh. What about the accent? What about the accent? For example, when you hear British person speak like that, a British and beta and a little and stuff like this. Do you understand the accent, even if they are
yes.
different with American? For example, in America, maybe they say mobile. In the UK, they say mobile, stuff like that,
Or
right?
here we say aluminum and there they say aluminium. Yeah. So, so I understand the accents pretty well and I can usually figure out what's being said. The accents that I do not understand and it's very difficult is the Scottish accent, specifically from people living in Glasgow. This poor Scottish guy went into Parliament asking a question to somebody from the UK, like from Britain, and the British guy said, "I'm sorry, can you say that again?" And I had to listen to this guy ask his question on the video clip like 3 or 4 times before I kind of understood what the question was. But the British accent, the Australian accent, for the most part, the Irish accent, they're all pretty easy. There's rural parts of Ireland and parts of Scotland, though, that I don't even know if it's English.
What's the accent? The accent. I saw a video. I saw a video. A boy or a man who say
Mhm.
like this: Sadio Mane is the best football player in the world. Have you
No,
what do you know this kind of accent?
I don't
Maybe
know
it's
that
Irish,
one.
maybe Irish or Scottish. I don't know.
The
But
yeah,
I
those accents can be pretty tricky. For the most part in Ireland, I did pretty well, but there were a couple of times where I said, "What?" Just I don't get it. The South African accent can also be a bit of a challenge if somebody from South Africa has a second language that's native to that country because the phonics are different, the pronunciations are different, and then you still have the British living down there to an extent. So the South African accent is also one that's a bit tricky. And some tutoring companies do not even hire people from South Africa for that reason. But for the most part, I can navigate my way through the accents. There are actually some American accents that are more difficult than the British accent. Um, there's the city of Boston, which is up near New York. They don't use the letter R when they talk.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So for like where I live, I would say, I will park my car. They will say, I will park my car.
My car, yes.
What's a car and where are you parking it? Like, so
But
that one and then parts of New York City are very difficult. The Brooklyn accent,
yeah,
uh, water. No, it's water. What? What is water?
so they pronounce each word, but when it comes to R, they hide it or they don't pronounce it. For car,